Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show. I'm your host, Rachel Zaleski. Today we'll be talking about a 1,000-point fair. UW Stevens Point women's hockey team is on a 15-point scoring binge. And hashtag Minneapolis Miracle, baby. It's all yours and it's all now. Last week, I went to the Granton-Spencer basketball girls game. And Jason, do you have any words to add?
Well, listen, Granton sports have been interesting to watch over the past few years. We got a special place in our heart here on the show for small schools in Wisconsin. They're certainly one of the smallest schools around. And I know that they give their all. And they hadn't, girls basketball hadn't won a game in over 2 years. So what'd you find out?
Oh gosh, it was an upset, but let's go ahead and let's see what I saw.
Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House, brought to you by Mid-State Technical College. There are over 50 in-demand programs at Mid-State. Choose your career at mstc.edu. Tuesday night takes us to Granton as the Bulldogs host the Spencer Rockets. Rockets senior Lexi Bear enters the game with 998 career points, and on this three-pointer, 1,001. Lexi goes over the 1,000-point mark in style early in the first half of the game, and a standing ovation inside Granton Fieldhouse. Congratulations also offered from Rocket head coach Brian Abel. The game goes on, and Lexi with the drive, fouled on her way up. She would sink both free throws, and Spencer is up by 4 early in the second. Granton's Rhiannon Reamer connects on both of her free throws, and it looks like tense moments are ahead in this one. Both teams fighting for the win, and we get physical as the second half winds to a close. Lexi Bear on the fast break, and she is sent crashing to the floor. She'll take a moment to collect herself. Teammates also there to help her up. Bear makes good on both of the ensuing free throws. Spencer up 30-26 with 5 minutes left. Freshman Bulldog Kristen Stry connects from deep, part of her 19 points on the night. Lexi had a game-high 23, and Spencer is up 35-32, 1:10 left. 2 possessions later, Reamer puts the Bulldogs up 2, their first lead in the second half, 35 seconds left, and Granton will ice the game with 2 Kristen Stry freebies. Bulldogs win their first of the year. Lexi Bear with 1,021 career points.
So Jason, last week's game of the week was the boys basketball in Auburndale as the Apaches hosted the Stratford Tigers.
Wow, and if I could just, you're going to mention Mike Warren in a minute, but if I could take some words out of his mouth and say, "Oh, baby!" Yeah, it was quite a game. It was certainly lived up to its billing as the game of the week.
Yes, so as you were saying, here's WOSQ's Mike Warren on the call.
Auburndale had a 9-point lead over Stratford in the second half. We pick up the action here with 4 minutes left.
In the lane, kicks it to Heidman in the near corner for 3. Oh, Lance Heidman, a big shot right there. His first basket of the game, and it's a big one. It's a 2-point ball game with 3 minutes to go in regulation time. Weinfurter down the lane to the front of the rim, and the basket is good for Weinfurter. So the Tigers have the ball to our right, down by 4. Bright for 3. Got it! Oh, baby! Vaughn Bright! And it's a 1-point ball game with 2 to play. Now Weinfurter gets it to Ertl for 3. No good. Rebound, Teddy Redmond. Now the ball got away from Redmond, and Auburndale grabs the loose ball. Auburndale to the rim. Basket good by Jacoby. The and 1 for the Tigers. A 1-possession, 3-point ball game with 1:15 to go. Redmond now left side. Heidman for 3 in the tie. No good. Rebound grab by Weinfurter of Auburndale with under a minute to go.
To get off a 3 here pretty quick.
Tigers have it. Chandler Schmidt for 3. Oh, baby! Chandler Schmidt from downtown with 24 seconds remaining. He has made it a 1-point ball game. It's a 2-point ball game. Tigers with 10 seconds. They have the ball to our right, and they will take a timeout. Teddy Redmond down the lane. Redmond for the tie. No good. Rebound grab by Kaysen Schmutzer, and he's fouled with 1.6 seconds on the clock. Second one is good. It's a 3-point Auburndale lead. Stratford for the tie. Here's Oakley Wrench off the backboard and no good. And the Auburndale Apaches have now knocked off the Stratford Tigers 50-47.
So the following games will be live streamed this week by Tri-Media, and links can be found to the live stream on ZaleskiSports.com. First up Thursday with wrestling when Marshfield Tigers match up against Wausau East. Also, Abbotsford Colby at Spencer Columbus, both starting at 7 p.m. And then Friday will be boys and girls doubleheader when Stratford plays against Abbotsford, starting at 5:45 p.m. And you can also watch another boys and girls doubleheader between Shagwamigan at Auburndale, starting at 5:45 p.m. as well.
That's right. A lot of basketball on Friday. So Friday is basketball day, Thursday is wrestling day, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to watch.
So, okay, all right, Jason, fill us in on the UW Stevens Point women's hockey. I heard they were amazing.
Yeah, well, they came into Saturday's game against the Aurora Spartans. They had just played Aurora the night before. They came into that game with back-to-back shutouts. They had outscored their opponents, including Aurora, 10-0, and they were looking to keep their shutout streak alive and keep their scoring on a binge.
Wow.
So
15-0 binge.
Let's have a look.
Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House, sponsored by Nasonville Dairy. Fresh cheese curds made daily, along with favorites you love like cheddar, Colby, and Monterey Jack. Visit one of our stores or see us online at NasonvilleDairy.com. For the second consecutive day, the Pointers take on the Aurora Spartans. On Friday, the Spartans were roughed up 7-0. Stevens Point not only pitching back-to-back shutouts, they're looking to keep their momentum, winning 6 of the last 7. The Pointers get things going right away as Maddie Schlossmacher finds Ellie Punnett, and she puts it over the line. Pointers break the seal 4 minutes and 45 seconds in. 3 minutes later, and Stevens Point is back on the offensive. This time it's Emma Berthume with a slap shot at a busy crease. 2-0 Pointers. Second half, and Ellie Punnett sees a streaking Kara Lemerande. Lemerande on the breakaway, and she's breaking ankles and scoring goals. That's just how she rolls. Everybody knows. Punnett scores a quick third-period goal to put Stevens Point up 4-0, and then Cassie Newcomer with the backhanded wrister puts it to the back of the net. Stevens Point puts Aurora to bed 5-0. No shutout tonight. You stopped 7 goals. That might seem okay, but that can be a little challenging without taking many shots. How do you stay in rhythm in a game like this?
I definitely sing to myself. It seems a little weird. I definitely sing to myself in the net to make sure that I'm focusing. And then I stay engaged in the play, so I cheer from the other end to make sure that I'm focusing on what they're doing. So if the puck were to come to me, that I'm ready, I'm watching what's going on. So that's how I definitely stay focused there.
Defense, big key to that, to the low shots you had to take on. Talk about the defense's play today.
The defense had a really good game today. They saved me a couple times. I had a few rebounds that came out, or even when I stopped that puck behind the net, they definitely saved me quite big there. So I owe a lot of the success to my defense, especially the low shots. So I really do like my defense. They're good. They do what they have to do, and they do their job well.
Thank you to our sponsor, Nasonville Dairy. Fresh cheese curds made daily, along with favorites you love like cheddar, Colby, and Monterey Jack. Visit one of our stores or see us online at NasonvilleDairy.com. You are watching the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House.
I'm in the house.
So a lot of fun stuff happening over at UW Stevens Point. Pointer sports are always fun to watch, and we've got a whole slate of winter sports available at our website, ZaleskiSportsShow.com. And we'll be back at UW Stevens Point this Saturday, the 20th, to watch men's basketball. The Pointers and Coach Semling go up against Coach Guard at UW Platteville. And bringing with him is Marshfield native, 2004 Tiger graduate, Matt Oestreich. So we'll catch up with Marshfield native Matt after the game and have all the highlights. So you want to tune into that. Again, ZaleskiSportsShow.com is your place for all that Pointer action.
Score! 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 Were you guys watching the game this weekend? Because it was amazing! So Jason, tell me what your take on this entertaining weekend of NFL.
Yeah, well, it was...
Minneapolis Miracle will be mentioned.
Okay, good. So let's start in the AFC. We'll get those cleaned up. The Titans went up against the Patriots and were quickly dispatched against New England. That was a mismatch there from the very start. And then the Jaguars, who had beat the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier this year by 40 and scored 40-plus points, go back to Pittsburgh and again score in the 40s. And so the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger are out. So we've got AFC Championship game is Patriots and Jaguars. And then in the NFC, the Eagles, and everybody had counted the Eagles out. Their quarterback Carson Wentz left with a knee injury about a month ago. Nick Foles came in, didn't look good in the last 2 games of the year. The Falcons were scoring a lot of points, and Atlanta goes into Philadelphia and only scores 10. And that's never going to be enough to win a game. The Eagles only scored 15, but as it is, the Eagles win 15-10. And then in the game of the week, as it turned out now in retrospect that Rachel was mentioning a minute ago, Vikings got off to a hot start against the Saints, pulled out early, and then kind of forgot about football up until the very end as and we'll play the clip right now as we see Case Keenum toss it up to Stephon Diggs with just seconds left on the clock. It looked like the Vikings were dead in the water, that their skull ship had sank, but alas, it floats. And it floated all the way to the end zone, and Diggs scores the winning touchdown, and there you go. So Patriots, Jaguars, and Eagles, Vikings. The AFC game takes place first at around 3 p.m., and then around 6 p.m. or shortly thereafter, the Vikings and the Eagles will battle it out up in Philadelphia.
Such a wonderful game. Oh my gosh, I could keep talking all episode long, but I won't. Just keep
Maybe you
your
should do a
eyes
vlog
out.
about it.
Maybe I will.
Okay.
So our Sports 101 isn't really a question this week. So Lexi Bear, she's with the Spencer Rockets. She crossed her, 1,000 career point threshold this past week. And Jason is a lucky duck because he gets to play horse with her.
Yeah.
So I wonder who will win.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to do a costume change. We're going to take the drive up to Spencer, and we'll play horse with Lexi, and then we'll sit down and just talk about a couple things. So here's how it went. All right, so we made it up to Spencer, and you can see we're finishing our warm-ups, and we're ready to get this game of horse underway, so let's get it on.
just kind of hanging out here with Lexi, just getting a couple things figured out. So Lexi, let's just talk about the basketball seasons. We're a little bit halfway through. You got 2 wins on the year. Maybe expect it to go a different way, but this is where we are now. You're still having fun though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good. When the season first started, as you looked at the whole year, how did you see it kind of going down?
We lost a couple good players from last year, Courtney Boss and Liz, and obviously we knew we were going to be at a height disadvantage this year with me being the tallest player at 5'6". Most of the teams have a 6-footer, someone a lot taller than us, so we knew we were going to have to box out and rebound. And another thing is finding a second scorer after me. It's been a challenge, getting someone to step up and fill that role, but we're working on it, and everyone's getting better with each game. So.
Yeah, it looks like it. More importantly, though, maybe it just looks like everybody's having fun while they're out there playing. You mentioned a 6-footer. Earlier in the year, you had Jennifer Wendler from Owen Withy come in. She goes about 6, maybe even 6'1", and she reached her 1,000-point threshold. We'll talk about yours in just a moment, but she did that, and she did it just right on the other end of the court here. What was going through your mind, seeing somebody else get to that kind of mark in their career?
I was happy for her. My parents both graduated at Owen, so I know a lot of those people in that town, and it's nice to see somebody get that too, and I was just really excited for my opportunity, but happy for her at the same time that she got to score it here. So. Yeah,
it was pretty cool. It's always cool to get those kind of career milestones and just see that. It's always, how can you not be happy for somebody, when they get to do that? So, and then you got to yours last week over in Granton, reached 1,000 points early in the game. I think some of the first points scored were those. So they stopped the game. You walked over. Coach handed you a ball. What happened after that?
He gave me a hug and took some pictures, and it was nice to feel everyone supporting me and everyone happy. And after that, my big focus was on getting the win that night, and unfortunately that didn't happen, but we played well, and I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, good. Well, congratulations again. I know if you've heard it from me specifically, but congratulations. Really cool to have somebody like you get to that milestone. So we're all proud of you. Something that's changed since I played high school sports is you know a lot of these other girls on the other teams. I mean, you've known them maybe even for years. I noticed that in particular last week after you got done playing Columbus. A lot of the girls came up to you and started talking to you. Now, you were friends with those girls. So how does that work? How can you be friends with somebody and still compete against them on the basketball court?
Well, Marissa Ammerfall and Morgan Albrecht, I played AAU with them, so we're pretty close from that. Our team is super close, and it's like no drama, and it's really awesome to have girls that support you that much. The AAU team is one of the best teams I've been a part of. So, and the other thing is just being combined with Columbus for the co-op for football and wrestling and stuff. We're hanging out all the time, and it's close next door. So it's really nice to know other girls from other teams and have friends from other towns.
Now, speaking of co-oping and getting along with classmates, let's talk a little bit about Hunter Lupke, all right? Now, you've been known to take a charge out here on the basketball court. What would happen if somebody like Hunter ran into you like that?
Hunter's a big dude, and he's really strong, so, I don't know. It's a good thing he's a football player, not a female.
I think he'd plow me over, too, no doubt about that I'm certainly not a small guy. All right, one of my favorite things to do while I'm out covering sporting events is head to the concession stand at halftime. Now, at halftime, you're in the locker room, so you don't get to do all that, but I've got my fair taste of hot dogs and things like that throughout the years. The Super Bowl's coming up here in just a couple weeks, speaking of football. And in Super Bowl I, quarterback for the Chiefs, Len Dawson, at halftime smoked a cigarette and ate a hot dog. Would you even think of eating a hot dog at halftime?
No, I would never think of that. I'm one of those people that has to eat way before a game starts, not right away, because I will get sick or cramp up and stuff. So I'm kind of a light eater before games and well before it starts, never anywhere near game time.
Yeah. Now, if I put a piece of turkey or ham or bologna in between 2 pieces of bread, that's a sandwich, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we come to agreement on that. Now, a hot dog, is that a sandwich?
No.
What is it? What category does that fit in?
It fits in something not a sandwich, I don't know.
Undefined category. We'll leave it at that. What's not undefined is Lexi. Top-notch basketball player. You got a real gift on the basketball courts. I've mentioned many times in calling some of your games that you really see things many plays ahead of time. So many great wishes for you for the end of this season. I know you've got softball season coming up. We've got a lot of fun stuff. So that'll do it for here, guys. Back to you.
Well, boy, I guess you saw what you needed to see there on that game. Lexi certainly put it to me. Fun time, though. Fun meeting up with Lexi. and finding out a little bit more about her, seeing some of her skills right there in person, just inches away. She's a great athlete, and she's a great person. We look forward to watching Lexi for the rest of this basketball season, and then as she gets into her softball season to end her senior year. So good luck, Lexi. It was good hanging out with you. All right, and it's what everybody's been waiting for. It's this week's Zaleski Sports Show 3 to See. We had our highest vote count yet, and it was nip and tuck all the way to the end, with first place being decided by just 1 vote and third place being decided just by 1 vote. So we had 4 great ones. Here are the top 3 as announced by Spencer Rocket, Lexi Bear.
Number 3 is Rhiannon Reamer.
1:10 left. 2 possessions later, Reamer puts the Bulldogs up 2, their first lead in the second half.
Number 2 is Reed Miller.
With Marshfield's Reed Miller as he leans into a 3-pointer at the halftime buzzer. The shot is good.
I am the number 1 3 to See play.
Spencer's Lexi Bear came into Tuesday's game at 998 career points. And with this first half 3-pointer at Granton, Lexi goes over 1,000 for her career.
That's the Zaleski Sports Show 3 to See.
Winners will be announced on Wednesday at 6:30. You can watch the announcement along with the show on Facebook, Charter Cable Channel 989, Focus on Marshfield, or ZaleskiSportsShow.com.
Thanks, Lexi, for helping us with the 3 to See this week. So thank you all for watching the Zaleski Sports Show. I'm your host, Rachel, and this is our sports expert, Jason. You can follow us on Facebook at Zaleski Sports Show and also on Twitter at Zaleski Sports. Make sure you all have a wonderful rest of the week, everyone. School!
Go Sports!
School!
Yeah, all right. That's enough of that.
Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show. This is, oh shoot, I was going to say Highlight House.
Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show, Highlight House.
But that is not
that is not what this is, no.
Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show. I'm your host, Rachel. Today we'll be talking, do you want me to do that over?
I was just sitting here minding my own business.
Oh, damn, Brett. Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show. I'm your host, Rachel Zaleski. Today we'll be talking about 1,000-pound... Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show. I'm your host, Rachel Zaleski. And today we'll be talking about 1,000-point bear. UW Stevens Point women's hockey team is on a 15-point scoring binge. And hashtag Minnesota Miracle. It's Minneapolis Miracle.